President Joe Biden urged U.S. lawmakers to approve tens of billions of dollars to fight the coronavirus, of which $5 billion is earmarked for America's global response.
Biden, who received his second booster shot on Wednesday, warned that failure to get this funding means the U.S. and the world risk backsliding. VOA's Anita Powell reports from Washington.
Americans may think they're done with the pandemic, President Joe Biden said as he rolled up his sleeve Wednesday for his second booster shot.
It didn't hurt a bit.
But that could not be further from the truth, he warned. Biden has asked Congress for $5 billion in funding for the global pandemic response and more for COVID-19 testing and vaccines at home.
Congress, we need to secure additional supply now. Now. We can't wait as we find ourselves in the midst of another surge to act. It'll be too late. And we also need this funding to continue our efforts to vaccinate the world with commitments we made. It's critical to our ability to protect against new variants. There's no wall you can build high enough to keep out a virus.
As many Americans contemplate their second booster shot, an additional layer of protection now available to Americans over 50, top global health officials on Wednesday sounded the alarm that the pandemic remains a global threat, as many people have yet to receive a first vaccine dose.
We don't subscribe to the view that there should be a different standard for people in rich countries versus others. If we need it for the high and upper middle income countries, we need it for everyone.
This inequality has been especially dire in the developing world, where the lack of vaccines and treatments has forced governments to impose other measures to try to stop the spread. UN Children's Agency warns that 147 million children missed more than half of their in-person schooling over the past 2 years because of pandemic-related disruptions. And human rights groups say they worry that amid rising lockdowns in countries like China, some governments have used the viral threat to crack down on freedoms. With watchdog Amnesty International warning that the situation has led to deeper inequality and greater instability. The last 2 years, Biden said, have been a global battle against this mutating virus. And although many Americans see it in the rearview mirror, for hundreds of millions of people around the world, the fight continues. Anita Powell, VOA News, Washington.
Just as we've reached the critical turning point in this fight, Congress has to provide the funding America needs to continue to fight COVID-19. We're already seeing the consequences of congressional inaction. The monoclonal antibody, take monoclonal antibodies, for example. They've helped save lives. This isn't partisan, it's medicine. But Congress hasn't provided enough money to keep purchasing these monoclonal antibodies. We've had to cancel planned orders and cut the supply we're sending to the states. Without more funding, we'll start to run out of them by the end of May. We've also had to scale back our plan to purchase more preventive therapies for Americans who are immunocompromised. Critical tools to protect the most vulnerable among us.